Just want to double check. My voice can be heard now, correct? Just to make sure that people can hear me. Yes?
Yeah, I've got you, Majid, and I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah,
Yep,
you guys are
confirmed. All right. So give it just another minute.
Yeah, another minute or so, let the people trickle in.
Maybe what you can do, James, as well is just you know, when I can get started on this as well too, when we start in maybe just on our Twitter, if you can just I'm gonna send you a quick DM on this actually. So hold on. Yeah, well, we'll get briefly started here, and thank you to any community members that have tuned into this spontaneous AMA. We're very, very excited to be here and to start on this first official AMA, although I will say that it's not our first AMA in the sense of our first, you know, big live one. This is more of a, you know, a spontaneous community AMA that we ran. There wasn't much notice for it. Of course, this is recorded. So, you know, if anybody on this call, it was not on this call that wants to make sure that they can hear, we want to give them the opportunity to do so. So, you know, we will be posting this after this call for anyone that missed it due to time zones and other commitments as well. You know, my name is Majid. I'm part of the Taboo core team. You know, James is here, who's one of the main developers. His title is CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and I'm the Chief of Operations of this project as well. First thing I want to share with everyone is, you know, we're all very happy and excited to be here with all of you. You know, James has said it from the very beginning. You know, the community is means the world to us, and you know, I always say this, you know, you are the you know the wheels to our engine, and you know I'm noticing that the community engagement is getting stronger. Our Twitter, you know, followings are growing. You know, I see there's more dedicated individuals that are holding, and we want to make sure that we as a core team always remain transparent in our communications. We'll be giving some updates on this call, and to make sure that our community's voices are heard at all times. And that's why we're running this AMA. So I'll share a bit about my background in a moment, but I'll let James maybe share a little bit about himself as well too, since he's going to be uh, co-speaking with me today.
Yep. So thanks, Majid. As Majid said, yep, we can't thank you guys enough as a community. It's ultimately, like Majid said, the wheels to our engine. It's been fantastic support so far. There's lots more in the pipeline that's to come, as I've mentioned to you previously. We haven't even got started yet. Ultimately, we are just laying the foundations of what we're actually looking to achieve in our long-term goals. My background, I've had lots of experience in marketing roles in previous companies, in running them and taking them to targets that I've needed to achieve and exited along the way. And now this is the new project that I'm solely focused on for the foreseeable future to ultimately get it to where we need to get it to, with the help of Majid, along with our other team members, and ultimately the community, which is going to obviously take this beyond our aspirations and where we think it's going to go. So that's our plans. That's what we're looking to achieve. We've got lots in store that hasn't even been announced yet. We are, like I said, we are just laying the foundations, and we are just started. I think, you know, we're a six-day-old project now, so it's still really early stages for us.
Yeah, and you know, and to add to that, you know, again, my name is Majid. You know, I'm COO on the Taboo team. I actually, you know, became on board and was part of their team expansion initiative that they had recently. Bit about my background as well. My background wasn't in business, by the way. At first, I actually did a double major in the art and sciences. For people that don't know, I did a lot of research and wrote honors theses, and was trying to become this prototypical medical student. And I actually did deny and reject my own medical school application just because my vision of my future and the kind of lifestyle that I wanted involved me being able to remove myself from trading time for money and be able to have my money work for me. So that's when I started to go into the entrepreneurial and business route, and I actually had grown and spearheaded my own financial wealth management firm that was there for 5 years. I have professional public speaking experience too, in leadership and in operational roles. But the biggest thing is I have a lot of experience in building and growing crypto projects, as I have since the beginning of my tenure in the crypto space or the crypto sphere. I've helped them grow and develop from point A to point B and onwards. So I have experience in this space, and I'm very, very happy and proud to be able to share my experiences with all of you, and to help make sure that we can all achieve our common outcome together, which is reaching financial freedom, because that's really the only reason we're all here. And besides the project and what we're doing, we're all here to also make money. We got to be real about that as well. And our job is to continue to service all of you and deliver on our promises so that we can all get to the same outcome down the line together. So, again, very happy to be here with all of you. And as James said, this is only just the beginning. I know, community members might get a little bit impatient when they see sideways movement, or maybe even potential downwards movement on a project. But we're like a baby that's just learning how to walk, and we're about to get poised to run, and before you know it, we're Olympic marathon runners, right? So we're laying that foundation, as James said. And this community call for everyone that's listening is a chance for all of you to ask your questions. There are no questions that we will not welcome. Just remember before moving forward that if people start speaking above each other, uh, you know, we'll make a decision on who can speak first. And other than that, we're very happy to hear some of your questions, and we're going to announce an update as well a little bit later on the call, moving forward too. So I'm gonna leave it open to the floor now for community questions now from our wonderful members. Does anybody want to ask a question? I don't believe we don't have the feature in place at the moment where you have to unmute yourself by requesting it. So I believe people should be able to speak as it is at the moment. So
Hi, I'm Patrick. I just bought $100 worth of Taboo this morning. So you guys are like mostly trying to make porn NFTs and stuff like that?
right, right. So yes, I mean the porn and NFT space, it's a growing and budding space. And I believe it's a very hot and trendy space, and we know we have examples of various cryptos that are trying to accomplish what we're accomplishing. However, yes, we are working on NFTs. We're focused more on the exclusive NFTs route, and we are trying to build an NFT marketplace that is going to be cutting edge and unique and have features in place that makes it, in my mind, differentiates it from the masses, right? And our job and our role here, I want you to, if you really wanted to think about what this is compared to some of the other cryptos and projects you see in the space. I mean, we're trying to build this in a way where we stay classy, professional. We still want to keep it sexy because it's still in porn and NFTs, and it's all about sex and in terms of what it's trying to represent. And we know sex sells, and that's you have NFTs that are hot, you have a porn industry that's hot, and then you have the vision and talents of this core team here that's trying to you know take what's been out there in the market and modify it to make it better in terms of what competitors are doing and what we're trying to build. And I think you have a recipe for major success. So yes, exclusive NFTs are going to be a part of it, but we're not just going to stop there. And I don't want to give anything away, but this marketplace that we have in mind, I'll say this: it's unique and not a single competitor at this moment actually is going to be implementing the features that we have in mind. So I hope that answers your question, Patrick.
Yeah, Majid, just to follow up on that, you took the words out of my mouth. I think something that the community predominantly needs to focus on is the exclusivity that is
Yes.
really going to come with this. I mean, there's something very special that is coming out over the next, hopefully, week or so that Majid and I are working very closely on that will, reiterate to you the exclusivity of the people that we are going to be working with in this NFT space moving forward.
Yes, yes. I do get this question a lot. They say, it's just when they say when Lambo and when CMC, they say when NFTs and, who are going to be the partners that you bring on. See, what we feel and what we believe is, quality is everything, and we don't have to just go for quantity. I mean, we could have had multiple partnerships already, but we are rejecting various partners and models and influencers that we feel maybe are not in line with the standard and expectations that we want to set for ourselves and the perception we want to have for the world to see that we're a serious, legit project that's here to mean business. We're serious enough to want to try to actually take over the market as well. So we're being very selective. Again, it's never about what we're doing. I mean, we can go out there and provide you all with NFTs tomorrow if we wanted and use a cheap platform to make them. But then again, what does that say about the Taboo brand, and what does that say about the team behind it? And we want to make sure that every step that we take is designed in a way that is focused, that is careful, and that it's going to maximize the future brand potential of this token and make sure that the market cap and price will reflect off of that as well. So just wanted
Sure.
to make that
And
very
following
clear.
up on that, Majid, it's also reflected in the actual quality of the
Yes.
community too.
Yes.
And also it reflects on the volatilities that are going on right now in the marketplace. I think we've held up very well, and the quality of our community and holders, you can see that it's there and it represents what we're looking to achieve fantastically
Yes.
well.
Yes, I see the community already. I see it as a mature community. I already see that there's dedication there, and the atmosphere is one that is exciting to be a part of. But again, there's always this taint that goes on, and at least in the BSC space too. The Binance Smart Chain. There's lots of shit coins out there. There's lots of coins that don't have utility, right? There's or a purpose behind them, and it's all just hype and marketing. See, when it comes to marketing, right? I mean, we're aiming for superior marketing. I mean, you can already see what the team has done and the kind of money that they've invested in this project with all, some of these publications that you see on our Twitter. If you're not on there, make sure to follow us. They did not come from paid promotions. Like I think James had mentioned, one of the biggest newsletters in the world. They listed us on their trending, I think, top 10 news stories, which we released the other day as well. So we're going down a route that signifies exactly what James is saying on quality, but across the board, including our community too. So, any other questions at the moment? I'm loving that there's already 33 members that can say that this is an all-time high for the members in attendance. And of course, as we continue to do more AMAs, we're going to continue to see more engagement from our community. Thus, we'll have even more on the next call, which is going to be fantastic. So. No other questions. We've actually answered everything, so we should end the call now. No, I'm kidding. But you feel free to speak. Anybody that would like to speak.
Okay, I think we're getting questions in the actual main.
Yep.
Telegram chat, but not actually on the voice.
We can start to pick at questions there
Yes.
on the chat. So let's look at them now. So.
Okay, so the last question that's just come in: why is ownership not renounced?
Right.
Okay.
Do you want to take that, or would you like to?
You can kick it off, Majid.
Yes. So, when it comes to, the crypto sphere and the kinds of projects that are run, I will just make a mention to all of you that I've been a part of projects that are both on dev run teams that have contracts that are not renounced, and I've also been a part of projects that are community run tokens where original developers, what they'll do is they will renounce the contract in its entirety, and then they will leave it up to the community to, as active investors and as equals, be able to run and create a brand and an image and move it forward and progress it that way. So contract, when we say that it's not renounced yet, there's a couple of reasons why that is. See, we are trying to aim to create an NFT marketplace at the moment, right? And with the existing tokenomics that are in place, that might need to be altered in order to reflect the kind of token that we want to be in that NFT marketplace. So for example, like, is this going to be a general use case token versus a utility token? In other words, will this marketplace involve people that are just going to be holding to get exclusive NFT rewards? Or are we going to make it so it's more focused on farming and staking as a way to add liquidity to our liquidity pool through manual LP providers? Well, that the tokenomics definitely will be altered to reflect that. So to answer the question for the individual in the chat, our plan is we are going to renounce the contract. We absolutely are. Once we're able to finalize our developments, we're speaking to developers, we're speaking to programmers. We want to make sure that whatever we're building, we don't jeopardize the ability to actually have it come to fruition just because we renounced the contract early on and we're not able to make alterations to the contract, right? But of course, in order to bring, comfort and security to our investors, we have at recently, we have to announce this as well. I mean, we did pass our tech rate audit. Now, this is a smaller auditing agency, and it's a very common one that many projects partake in. But that's not what we're not going to stop there. I mean, CerTech audit is the next one on the list. Sometime next week, we're hoping we're going to start an application on that too. So we're going to continue to do what we can as a core development team to promote trust and confidence from our community to our community members and allow them to understand that the reason why it's not renounced yet is because it could jeopardize our development plans down the line if we do it too quickly. But that doesn't mean we're not going to do it. Eventually, we are planning to do that. Now, this might be a good segue to discuss. Would you agree, James, as to what we've done as of about an hour ago? Correct?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like Majid has just quite rightly said, we're still very, very young, and ultimately it's getting those fundamentals in place for our ultimate goals on what we're looking to achieve in the long term rather than the short term. And if we do need to make amendments along the way that are going to actually facilitate what we are looking to achieve and where we are looking to get to, then I'm sure everybody would agree that it's in all of our interests to make those amendments now rather than later, or not even being able to make them at all.
Yes, and I will speak firsthand that when a contract is renounced, I mean, that's it. You finalized exactly how that contract looks, and other than some public contract changes that can be done, there's rarely anything that can be altered, and that is one of the weaknesses of those community run tokens that I've been a part of. Is the contract is fixed, it's rigid, it cannot be changed, even at times where as the project develops, there's a need to pivot and adapt on a project plan, and not being able to have that feature in place to make alterations is a major hindrance too. Now that's why we're not doing it just yet for that reason. However, because the contract wasn't renounced, in fact, we were able to do and promote a very, very strong change that I believe that the community is going to be very, very happy about, which I'll explain now. So, as you know, with the existing tokenomics in place, 5% are going to what's called reflections, and that is in the form of redistributions back to our holders on every buy and sell. So with every buy and sell, there's a total of a 7% tax in place. 5% of it goes in the form of reflections through redistributions to our holders. So just by holding the Taboo token, you are going to earn more tokens. Think of it like passive income on your investment, okay? And based on how much token you hold in proportion relative to all holders, as you move up the holders list, your redistributions will come in higher, and you therefore your earning of tokens as your overall stack of the tokens you own is just going to keep growing higher and higher, more so than people who are lower on the holders list. So that's another reason why owning more Taboo is a good idea. Now the other 2% goes to burns. So there's an ongoing burn that happens all the time on a buy and sell to total that 7% transaction fee. Now, what we noticed as a core team, we looked at the liquidity pool that we have now at the market cap that we were at. We first identified it at around 5 million market cap. Okay. We looked at the total BNB that we have in our liquidity pool, and we saw that it is very low. It was about 2.5% for the total BNB value. So let's say it's 100,000 in value, for example, total, compared to our existing market cap. And what we were noticing is that a small sell has a high price impact. I mean, there was at one point I told James, I said, listen, like a 10 BNB sell is dropping the market cap by 400,000. This should not be happening. This is a big impact to us, right? On the flip side, we also noticed on our run up to 10 million market cap as our all-time high that as long as the buy pressure is there, we can grow our market cap fairly quickly, but it comes at a cost in the sense that if people start to sell off, then we will start to see steeper drops because our price impact is higher than it should be due to our liquidity pool not having a high enough percentage relative to our market cap. So we needed to look at a way to promote more liquidity into our liquidity pool so that every buy and sell on both sides, it's going to work on both sides, meaning if someone sells 10 BNB, we want to make sure the impact is lower. But what will end up happening is when we have more liquidity pool source as well, then on every buy, unfortunately, the impact will not be as strong in terms of raising the price, but it's a balancing act. And because the contract was not renounced to begin with, we were able to make an alteration as of about an hour ago that is only going to be a benefit to all holders. So this is what we've done for the time being, and this is not fixed. This will be dynamic and will change as we move forward. So out of that 7% transaction fee, we have decided to keep it as 7% total transaction fee so that holders do not feel that they're having to pay a higher cost on any sells if they decide to do that down the line. But we have lowered the redistribution or reflection percentage from 5% to 2%. We have lowered the burn percentage rate from 2% to 1%, and we have added a 4% liquidity tax, which is going to boost our liquidity. It's going to raise the amount of BNB that we have and tokens that we have in place in our liquidity pool, which will help reduce our price impact, which will help create more price stability and help ensure that as we grow, we won't run into a situation where, let's say, as an example, we're at 5 million market cap now, we get to 20 million. Naturally, as our market cap grows, we're going to attract new buyers. I'm sure you all would agree. But those buyers, because of the market cap, and I do this on other investments, if it's at a higher market cap, I might start throwing in more money in the first place. People would have also profited 4 or 5 times by then. So the transactions, the size of the transactions are going to be higher, right? And we will end up, if we didn't make this change, we would be in a position where, we could get to 20 million market cap and very quickly we'd be back down to 5 because, those sell-offs will have a very, very negative effect and a higher proportion on our price because our liquidity pool is not healthy enough to support those transactions. So that's the decision that we made. And we wanted to also announce this to our community, and we hope that they understand why we did this. But that doesn't mean we're going to keep it that way. Meaning, down the line, once our LP starts to strengthen and we feel it's at a healthy level, we can reduce that liquidity tax down from 4. We can increase our redistributions. We can increase the burn percentage where we see fit. But the most important point is today, we needed to work on improving our liquidity pool, and we accomplished that for the community. And we're very happy that we were able to do that. And once the NFT marketplace plans are finalized, which we're very close to, then we will know what our final tokenomics will look like, which we will then commit to and then renounce the contract. So I just wanted to share a practical example of the benefits of not renouncing the contract right away, to ensure that we are able to be careful on partitioning how it looks to reflect our future development plans. And if we had renounced it last week where we considered it, we would have been in big trouble right now. In fact, we might have had to even launch a new token and this would have caused major FUD, major panic, major sell-offs in the community. It would have been a nightmare. So I'm sure James would agree that having this flexibility, and I'm sure the community would agree, has only been a good thing for us so far. So until we renounce later. So
Exactly right. Yeah, going back to the previous question, about the renouncement, this is just one typical example of the advantages of not actually renouncing it yet, along with obviously the NFT marketplace that is being launched sooner rather than later, which actually, Majid, brings me on to the next question that we've just had right now come into the group chat. What's the estimated time of arrival on the NFT marketplace? So, Majid, over to you. I'll let you explain to the guys what we're looking to achieve with the NFT marketplace, when we're actually looking to start deploying that, and how soon we're actually looking to go live with it.
Yes. No, I'll mention a few points off the bat. First of all, there are many coins that launch in the BSC network that reach, ridiculously high market caps just on hype alone, with no use cases and utilities. And most projects don't have a working product off the get-go. This is why roadmaps are in place, so that we can reach targets. Now, when it comes to Taboo, okay, what I need our community to understand is this. We as a core team do not want to overpromise and underdeliver, nor do we want to back ourselves into a corner where, because we make a statement that seems like a finalized statement, but going further down the line, as we evolve in our mindsets, as this project grows, we want to be able to have the freedom to make adjustments. And if we make a promise now and set an expectation to the community early on, and if we don't reach that to the level in which they understand we were supposed to, this will take away from trust and confidence in our community. And we need to have the community having trust and faith in us too. So we don't want to overpromise. In fact, we want to underpromise at all times and overdeliver. Now, when it comes to the development of an NFT marketplace, there's a lot of programming and coding that goes into this. This is not something that can be built overnight. Many projects, it can take many months for them to even realize these marketplace visions and goals that they have. We want to try to launch it as soon as possible. And when we know more information and we're confident that this information we're 100% clear on, and there is no chance of us, having to make a shift in our statements, then we will make that statement to the community. So I hope that everybody understands our reasonings and rationales behind that. It's the same kind of argument when people say, when do you think we'll hit X price? We don't have a crystal ball, and I wish we did. If I had a crystal ball, then I would be the richest man on the planet. But unfortunately, we don't, and so we're not able to make those kinds of blanket statements at the time. So that's how I would answer that right now.
No, agreed. Okay, sure. Okay, another question from Jackson. The flow of new holders have been slow lately, so what do you have in mind to get more investors? Also, how is that affecting the market budget? Are we on the safe side, or do we need more funding?
Right.
Okay, well, I can start and say, look, one thing I know for sure is that we're on the safe side and we don't need more funding. That's something that myself and the team actually had a meeting about today. That's not an issue in terms of funding. But what I actually do think is the issue is how you spend it. So, it's okay having the funding and all of this funding, but ultimately what I think the team want and the community is value. So there's no point just spending that money and spending that budget and spending the funding on unnecessities that don't really do anything for us and our community. So, I think what we've done over the last 5 to 6 days, we've set the foundations. I'm super happy with the results that we've had in terms of the press releases that have been put out there with the likes of Business Insider, News Now, all of the largest crypto websites that are available with the largest amount of traffic. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like we've done a fantastic job with laying those foundations. And now it's just having an internal discussion about what's next. Now, we've made a few moves that we can't elaborate on as yet until they actually come to fruition, which I think could be imminently. And I think you will actually understand then a lot more about us and what we are looking to achieve as a project and the direction that we're looking to take this project. Going back to, I think the first question that was asked, or Majid's first introduction about the exclusivity of this project. And, that's a really key point, the exclusivity, which I think you will start understanding a lot more about over the next few days when we start getting the results from this next campaign, this next, push of marketing that us and the team are looking to sort of take on imminently and looking to actually launch to you guys when the results start coming to fruition and we start getting what we need to get out of it and it's all confirmed.
Yes, yes, yes. Beautifully put. And I will just add to that. First, because marketing is one of the key ingredients in helping promote a project and in helping people from around the world through different social media channels and networks, helping them first understand what we are, what we're here, what we're trying to build, and then also facilitating the process from the initial awareness of who we are to the steps that need to be taken to in a simplified fashion to be able to buy us and to be able to then from there as an investor be able to learn more about how they can as a community member be involved in the community and get updated as to our progress, because at the end of the day I will say this, in the crypto space, the market moves quickly. Fluctuations can be very high, but we're all here for a high risk, high reward play. This is why we're here. So, of course, I would hope that people who are investing are doing their due diligence and research and not investing more than they can afford to lose. If I was to tell you right now, go ahead and you should be buying Taboo. And, I mean, I have a large stake in it. I do buy the dips consistently. It's not financial advice. I just want to make that very clear off the get-go. Now, in terms of our marketing budget, it is healthy and strong. There is no, in my mind, there's no way that's going to ever run out, as James eloquently put. It's just a matter of first, and part of this is a trial and error as well. We are going to be testing out different marketing campaigns and different areas of marketing spend, and we're going to gather data and analytics around just how effective it's been. But we need to also be aware that the kind of marketing we're doing reflects the nature of our project. So if we're looking at exclusive NFTs and we want, we want those NFTs to have a set a standard for the world to see that we're not just here to go after small time players, right? We want to go after the big names, and we want to make sure that we have the big brands and big partnerships by our side, and that's a quality play. It's not a quantity play. So I hope that people understand that too. So
and
but of
ultimately,
course,
Majid, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah,
that also does take time.
yes,
So please understand that, the guys in the community, I understand that, like Majid quite rightly said, this high risk, high reward, etc., etc. I like to place ourselves slightly different to that, purely for the fact that the things we are working on do take time, but they are guaranteed rewards when they come to fruition. So there's certain things that Majid and I are working on right now that really will set us apart, not just from our competitors, but also from any other new token that's been launched for 4 to 5 days that really will make your hair stand on end. And, I'm just asking you just to work with us, give us a little bit of time. We're only 5, 6 days old. We really do have some fantastic results to date with laying those foundations. Now, give it another week, and then you will really see some progression, and you will really see the work that we've put in over those last 4 to 5 days actually come to fruition.
Yes, yes. I'll make an example as well. I mean, if you look at our Twitter, I mean, our Twitter followers have more than doubled. We've grown by 2.5 times just by some of the selective marketing that we've done in the way that we went about it, right? In terms of our contest that we released on Twitter, the details in terms of how you can enroll to be eligible to, and which the contest is just finished, by the way. So we will be looking at who are the top 10 winners. Who actually had followed the steps on Gleam.io. And so I just want to make it clear that when we look at holders, flow of new holders slowing down, remember that we can only control what we can control in terms of our marketing spend, in terms of our work ethic and discipline. We're not going to stop just because the BNB price goes down and Bitcoin price goes down and there's more fear in the market from FUD-based news. In fact, those are the times we're going to ramp up our efforts, right? So we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to work on our plans and realize them, and regardless of market conditions, because the market can slow us down. In fact, it did slow us down the other day, and we need to remember that if BNB goes down in value, just a bit of an educational piece, because our LP is tied to BNB, it does affect our price. I mean, if BNB drops by 50%, it's going to take more buyers to have the same price impact. So we're well aware of external variables that can hinder our growth, but we're also here to stay, and we're going to continue to always launch marketing. We're always going to continue to promote awareness and engagement. And as James said, we're not just going to stop because the market slows down and wait to time different pieces of rollouts that we feel is gonna give us guaranteed returns in the long run. In fact, we're just gonna continue to do what we do, and we just need to have the community place their trust and faith in us. Because at the end of the day, you can do all the research in the world, you can be as certain as you want about the potential of this, and many of our community members, even myself, I was a community member at first. I'm like, this has the potential to become a billion plus market cap token. And I will tell you all firsthand, with my experience running crypto projects and being heavily involved as an active investor with many diversified investments, 99% of those crypto projects have billion-dollar ideas and they fail. Why? Because the team does not know what they're doing. Okay, this is just a sad truth. The amount of times that I have had to consult and I have had to actually explain some of how this token needs to adjust and focus on what their next priorities are, it's really shocking, actually, sort of. And I'm not there to attack other projects, but it's just one of those things where I need everybody to understand that an idea is only 1%. So if you have an idea of where you think Taboo will go, 99% of it comes down to execution, and that comes to the core team delivering on their promises. So you have to have trust and faith in us, and have a little bit of patience. I know we all want a Lambo. I know we all want to reach financial freedom and independence, and change our lives for the better, and our families' lives, and leave a legacy for our loved ones. I always say, if you don't come from a rich family, make sure that the rich family comes from you. I get all of that, and I can sit here and inspire all of us, but at the end of the day, you're not going to get 100 times gains overnight. That's all I'm saying. So holding is the number one thing that you can do, and it's the way that we're going to continue to grow. If every community member holds, and even if we have sell pressure, let's talk about whales now. I want to talk about whale resistance. See, there's a negative connotation or outlook on whales. When whales sell off, I always say this, when the green candlesticks come up on charts, people FOMO buy in, and then we start to have more green candlesticks. When we see red candlesticks, it's like the blind leading the blind, everybody panics and they start wanting to sell, and it becomes a domino effect. Now, how do we avoid that? We need to remember a few things. One, it's okay to take profit. People have different exit strategies. When we get to 50 to 100 million market cap, if a whale decides to sell off, we should embrace their sell off and be happy for them, because they were there at the beginning with us to help us get to 50 to 100 million market cap. But by holding, that's how we continue to hold our price floor. If the community holds, then we price the whales out. We price the swing traders out. We price the bots out. We price anybody that's trying to manipulate our price to buy in cheaper. As long as we're able to fulfill this, then it's a very simple formula. Buy pressure and versus sell pressure equals price impact. If the sell pressure stays the same, because we as a community are holding strong, and we have continuous volume, which we're going to accomplish with every type of marketing initiative we have, then it's going to lead to positive price impact. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear to everybody as well. So
agree. I couldn't have said it better myself, Majid.
Yeah,
completely agree. Okay, there's a few more questions coming in now. So I know everybody would like to cut to the chase.
Let's maybe focus and ask if anyone on the voice call first wants to speak. I know we're looking at the questions in the chat, but if anyone would like to ask a question since you're on the voice call, feel free. Are they able to speak? I mean, I'm just going to double check. Maybe they're muted. No, it seems like people can speak.
Yeah, I'm like reading you here. I haven't really done much research. I don't want to be a bit ignorant and ask, but can you give me like a basic outline of what your sort of features and roadmap is?
Yeah.
In a few words.
So I'll just keep it very simple then. So again, this project right now is basically, it's an entertainment and media based blockchain tech project where we're utilizing NFTs in the sector of pornography and all of that, but we're not just doing that alone. It's more in the sense of allowing content creators to be able to create NFTs and mint them, and allow them to be used for sales, where people can buy them, right? So in terms of our roadmap, of course, we're going to be focusing on releasing exclusive NFT content, and we are going to be creating that NFT marketplace as we have mentioned before. As part of the roadmap, aside from these plans and initiatives, there are some cookie cutter roadmap plans that we have to accomplish that is going to help bring more awareness and oversight to what we're doing. So areas like exchanges, for example, we need to be getting released on exchanges, because many people and investors do not just do not buy on PancakeSwap. In fact, many investors just wait until there's a legitimate exchange to buy. So exchange news is definitely is in the works. Particular brand partnerships and sponsorships are in the works. We are going to be updating our website very soon here. We're going to be revamping it. White paper is also in the moment is being updated too, and being created to add to the website. We don't actually have our white paper on the website yet, but that's a testament to just how early you are. Other parts of the roadmap is applying to websites like CoinGecko, which we already have. CoinMarketCap will be next. Things like StockTwits. All of that. Because some of these sites where we can list brings trust to our platform too. So to keep the long story short, it's an exclusive NFT crypto project that's also going to utilize a marketplace that will allow NFT content as well as other forms of content to be able to be used for buys, and we're going to be launching all of that very soon once we finalize our plans around that as well. So
Sounds dope. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I've literally just joined this voice chat, and you sound like you know what you're talking about. Give me a lot of confidence. Just, is there anything in particular that you're sort of focusing on to help distinguish you from the other competitors in this sort of scene?
I'll let James answer this one actually.
Yeah,
Since
yeah. So it goes back to the initial conversations that we had. I would like to focus purely on exclusivity. So what will differentiate us from our competitors? In answer to your question, Mick, it is the exclusivity. So we are really focusing on people, the people that we're going, the ambassadors that are going to be taking this forward, the people we're going to be working with, the people that are going to be creating the content that's actually going to be made will be very exclusive, which will come to fruition over the next week. So you'll start understanding what I mean when we talk about exclusivity with some of the marketing campaigns that we're actually working on right now as we speak, which we can't talk too much about as yet. You'll have a good understanding and a good feeling about what we mean when we talk about exclusivity. If that makes sense. Yeah, so that's something that will differentiate us from our competitors, is purely the exclusivity, the content, and ultimately the way the NFT marketplace will actually work, which Majid will be able to take over and tell you exactly how it will work compared to our competitors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess is the end goal there essentially like trying to get creators that would only post on this platform, right? So you could only get their stuff on Taboo. Is
Correct.
that what you're getting?
On the NFT side, you can look at it that way, and of course, the way that we design the features of the NFT marketplace, that's, like I said, that's yet to be determined. We're almost there. We're just fine tuning how it looks. I can't say any more about, because again, some of the features that I have in mind and my vision. Again, I've studied the space. I've been involved in the space. Actually, I was a part of a crypto project that was in the porn and NFT space for a period of time. I walked away because I didn't have confidence in the team. It got to a point where I was actually doing their work for them, which that didn't seem right. So I lost faith in the team. But so far this team has been nothing short of spectacular. But this there's gonna be a feature in this NFT marketplace that I will say that no one else has thought of, and I'm kind of surprised as to why they haven't. And for that reason of not wanting to share it so that we can have a first mover's advantage, I'm going to refrain from sharing that at the time. So yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions on this voice call here?
Okay, could we take a couple of questions, Majid, from the group chat?
Yep, we can.
Okay, one of the first ones coming in. So I know everybody would like to cut to the chase, but you cannot drop it right now. Could you guys give us any hints as to who the adult star is, male or female? Initials, maybe.
Yeah, and that's I guess that's a point that maybe we can reiterate. We're not just gonna go after adult entertainment stars. By the way, I mean there's other kinds of you know uh, individuals that maybe aren't in such a hardcore sort of style of how they maybe want to have their NFTs made, and we want to give opportunities for all of that. That's not to say that we're not only focused. I mean, we're heavily going to be focused on this idea of a porn and sex selling kind of thematic as well. But again, like I said, just think of Taboo as the premium crypto in the porn and NFT space. So that involves premium content and premium partnerships and brands that we bring on board as well. So we don't want to drop the hint yet because again if we give it away, I mean there's also non-disclosure agreements that happen before deals get made, and if anything gets released without finalization, that deal can be completely disappear, and that would not be a really good business move as well, with these third party groups that we're in discussions with as well. So
No, agreed. And going back to the question, it was Adult Star. I think we're going to actually have a few of them, not just particularly one person that we're going to be working with moving forward, for this exclusive NFT content that ultimately we're looking to achieve as a project. So I think it's going to actually be more than one, which is obviously very good.
yeah. So
Majid,
yes, sir.
Jeff here. I'm curious. Can the public buy into the liquidity pool? Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No, I can. I hear nothing after the question.
Okay. How about now? Are you able to hear me
Yeah, I
now?
got you
Yeah,
this time. Maybe it's me.
Perfect. Yeah. So holders are able to, if they would like to, they could send tokens with the BNB on to our LP address, and they can manually input more liquidity for us, as a liquidity provider. So that is something that any holder
That's a
can do.
possibility. It's open to you guys. There's no like locking on it. It's all open that I can go and do that.
That's the question. I'll ask one of our developers on the locking aspect.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, no, but I don't want to confirm that if I'm not 100%. However, I do know that you are able to add to the LP pool, as you wish. Any holder can do that. So
And it's all paired with BNB.
yes.
I just wanted to double check. So moving to the future, though, are you looking to move to another potential partnership with like an outside, like with one of these hot bits or hot things, that now you got to go pair with USDT. I mean, are you planning to stick with the BNB system, or what are your overall plans here?
Yeah, so again, this comes down to, again, it goes back to the NFT marketplace, and it comes down to, are we making this a utility token where it's going to be, if it's just now I can drop hints on the different kind of options where payments have to be made through our token, and if so, is it going to be, will it be through the token,
Gotcha.
and
Yeah, yeah.
will it be through giving the option of BSD or other forms as well now, of being able to swap and make payments now. I think what you're also alluding to is actually with the in the matter of exchanges,
I'm just
as we
talking exchanges. Yeah, no, I understand
yes,
the exclusivity of what we're talking about on the other end of it.
yes,
It seems
there
like,
will be options,
yeah, no,
on exchanges to
it's a
other than BNB.
you really you do. So you think that what I asked that for is the liquidity, right, obviously, because how soon do you plan on doing that? How quickly do you think you can burn through the ones that are in his one? And you know what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm well aware now. Just to give examples, I mean, some common trading pairs are, can be BTC, can be Ethereum, can be, USD Tether, for example, as common trading pairs on exchanges. But PancakeSwap is always going to have its liquidity tied to, for people that purchase through PancakeSwap, with BNB. But again, as a matter of preference, and having options. This is why we list on exchanges. It gives
Yeah,
investors access to options. So that's the biggest
that's
thing.
key. Thank you. Yeah, no, I apologize for interrupting, and thank you for holding this.
No problem. No problem. Any other questions on the voice call here?
Okay, we have a few more questions. Majid, if we've got time to continue to go through them, I think it would be great to get them dealt with now.
I couldn't agree more.
How much liquidity how much liquidity did we start with when we first launched?
Yes. So, normally, when liquidity, pool is set up, there's an initial amount that does get burned on launch. Now, I wasn't a part of this project right when that happened to know that answer, but we've addressed we've noticed, as I said before, that our liquidity was low and has been low. And that's why we altered some of our tokenomics in our contract, which we're going to release further details in a formal announcement. You're hearing it first on this voice call. So
yeah, we started with the process we took with 50% of the amount of BNB that was collected through pre-sales, and it equated to something in the region around 70 BNB.
Yes, exactly. So while that was still a good starting point, it was definitely moving forward, we've now found solutions to continue to promote healthier liquidity, such as the LP tax that we've implemented as of a few hours ago. So
great. Okay. Last and final question by the looks of things. Do we have board members? If we do, what business background are they coming from?
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, I think, it's really important to understand that when I say core team, there's a list of individuals that all have different kinds of backgrounds. For example, there's one that is on the video sort of editing side. If you saw some of our initial promo videos, that was made by that individual. There's somebody that's, in web design, right? We have contact with an individual who's a developer that we're going to maybe use for our NFT marketplace. So to make this clear, even though there's been an initial core team, we're constantly, if we feel we need to, expanding our reach to different kinds of talent. So for example, when this token got launched, it was going to just be focused on exclusive NFTs, but as the days went on, the discussion was had about creating a marketplace as well. Now, in order to accomplish that, there's going to need to be key figures that understand the space, that know how to develop a marketplace, and maybe and so those are individuals that we're targeting and we're in discussions with to be able to help realize this goal. A big one that we're looking into, and I have somebody that I'm looking to bring on board right now, is somebody that has extensive experience in 3D imaging with NFTs. So imagine, spinning NFT cards, imagine going beyond that to different kinds of NFT exclusive content that is in a 3D imaging format, but you need to have a developer that understands the space, has experience with it as well. So in terms of business background, I mean, again, I have an extensive business background. James does. Pretty much everyone on the core team has some kind of business background, but we're all very multifaceted in terms of how we what our skills and talents are. So we all kind of place our foot into different parts of this project where we see fit too, although we also do have specialists in the space too, so that work with us.
No, yeah, I completely agree. In terms of obviously my background, as I mentioned before, I've come from several companies, from startups to exiting in multi-million dollar companies, from start to complete finish. And just as Majid just quite rightly said, we have an array of board members here that are from all different backgrounds with great attributes that we need for each department in each segment as we look to progress and obviously grow as a project to facilitate in all those areas. I think we have the majority of them fortunately covered, as I'm sure Majid would agree.
Yes. And I think maybe this could be a good time for you as well, James, to speak about some of the connections and that we have in the industry, and kind of what kind of, I think maybe he might have mentioned sort of what kind of background type individuals or members, maybe they're big stakeholders that we use for connections and all of that, and what their roles are, because one of the big things that's sold me on this, many reasons, but one of them was just the level of the networking that we have and the connections
Yeah.
we have too. So
Okay, I have to be quite careful
yes,
how I tread here. There's quite a lot of sensitive information.
yeah, don't mention any sensitive information, of course, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So we have to be quite careful with how we tread here. But yeah, our team has a phenomenal network in terms of whether it be, wow, look, as I mentioned before, what you'll see over the next 7 days in terms of the exclusivity, going back to that again, of this project, I think would just nip it in the bud in answer to your question about our network and the connections. Because put it this way, what will come to fruition over the next 5 to 7 days, it's quite categorically clear that there is quite a strong network backing this and a strong team involved in
yeah,
terms of the adult world, in terms of the industries that are associated with ours, in terms of the supermodels that ultimately we are going to be working with moving forward. Some very high caliber, high profile supermodels that we are going to be working with, that the community will establish and understand in the very short term, to say the least.
yes, 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 yes. And to add to that as well, I mean, even within our own moderator team, some of the individuals have extensive connections in the adult entertainment space. And this is a point I want to share with everybody. This is still a community-run token. And what I love, and especially in my experiences I've seen when projects start to grow, when we start getting someone a 5 or 10 times gain, I mean, they're going to start to want to vest themselves further in the development of this project. So this is why I always say, we value and appreciate all community ideas, opinions, and insight, suggestions, all of that, and even on a strategy scale. I mean, a lot of our ideas don't have to just come from us. Like I see some community members, they share some amazing insight and new perspective. I mean, me with the science background, I'll just make one small point. I mean, some of the biggest science developments came from the TA students that were working with the professors who just gave them a fresh perspective that was kind of a relevant perspective to the modernism of the space too. So we value all of that, and we urge anybody that feels if they can contribute to the growth of this project, feel free to reach out to one of our moderators or admins, myself or James. We do get DM'd quite a bit. We'll get back to you as soon as we can as well. But this is something that we value very highly as well, and our community is just as much our network, and in terms of the kind of connections we can build, as the existing networks and connections that we have. So I just want to make that very, very clear. So
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, I think, is there any more questions from the participants that are in the voice chat as we speak?
I think there was yeah, we'll wait for someone to maybe ask a question on the voice call. I like hearing voices too, but we can also just get the questions from the chat as well. So there is a question with regards to right, Pornhub. Will it be related to Pornhub in the next few days? Well, first of all,
Not in the next
few
few days,
not
but
in the
yeah.
next few days. But again, like I said, the NFT marketplace is going to be unique, and without giving anything away, let's just say I won't comment on that. I'll let you all come to your own conclusions on what I mean by that. But that doesn't mean that we have to necessarily partner with some of those names, right? We might be able to become those names. Hint, hint. So that's kind of all I'll say there. So good. So any other questions? Let's see. No other questions? Have we done our job then? Have we answered
I think we're I think we pretty much people are wanting. Sorry, can I think people are wanting to join the voice chat now? What would you like to know? Apparently some people can't get into the voice chat.
Well, they should be able to actually.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's recorded, right? So we'll be able to upload it for future reference for the people that
Yeah.
weren't able to join us today. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if there's no more questions, I would just like to round it up and say, you know, how ultimately how much we value the community, and you know what we've got in store for you over the next short foreseeable future. Over the short term is something very, very special, and I think Majid would agree. You know, we really have set the level and set the bar, and I mean the foundations that we have placed over the last 4 to 5 days have actually been remarkable in the scheme of things. When you look at some of the names and some of the press releases that have actually been put out there under the circumstances, you know, of the politically correctness in this day, with it, you know, some things not being safe for work and this, that, and all the other, any excuse under the sun to try and, you know, make it difficult for us. We've actually managed to achieve quite a lot over, you know, this short term. So I think that's something that we can all be proud of as a team, and ultimately the community. And you know, please bear with us. We're constantly, you know, working on this. We're not taking a day's rest. We've got some big things in the pipeline, which I hope and which I'm sure will give you that confidence of the exclusivity of this project, and ultimately what we are looking to achieve as a community and team. And just to, you know, just to say, you know, thank you to the community on being so supportive over this such short term.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like the you know, without the community, we're nothing, right? The community really drives this, right? And I always say, all the paid promotion and advertising in the world will never beat the action marketing that comes from the community. And so, as we continue to grow and build our holder count, and the community starts to have more, strength in numbers, right? We're going to be able to unify more and make a difference in the outreach campaigns that we're looking to do. So this is just the beginning. Very, very young project. I understand that people want results right away, but our main focus is to bring action and results to all of you. But we want to make sure it's done right, and it's focused, and it makes sense for our long-term aims. So this is why, like, even with the models and the partnerships we want, we've turned down various types of partnerships already, which were big names, because we didn't feel they felt they were in line with our aims. But be rest assured, there's a team behind the scenes that's working tirelessly, myself included. I mean, I don't think I have a sleep schedule anymore. I just kind of nap when I'm tired and I get back to it. And so we have other people that are just as dedicated as myself, working around the clock like this. This won't be even though this is our first AMA, this is not going to be our last. We plan to do many of these in a consistent fashion over the long term. What you can do now is, please make sure to join our announcements channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We do have an Instagram that we're looking to build, so follow our Instagram, as well as our Reddit. We need to build a Reddit community as well. We're going to make a TikTok, official TikTok soon, and a YouTube channel. So all of this is going to be in play and in force very, very soon. And we will constantly make sure that we are always updating you whenever we have new information, because transparency and honesty is the number one aim for us in how we disseminate information to our community. So that's all I really want to share there. Other than that, very happy for the individuals that ask questions. We're very happy to be here to answer them. We as a core team are always going to be there for you. So don't hesitate to ever reach out to any one of our admins, moderators, or team members. And there's no such thing as a dumb question. So other than that, I know we've done about 40 minutes so far on this call, and I think this might be a good time to end the call, so that our team members, myself, James, and everybody else can get back to work on providing a quality service to all of you as our tribute to you for holding Taboo. So
Agreed. And
thank you.
rest assured, we will not let you down. That is one thing I can assure you from the team at Taboo. We will not let you down. That the aspirations we have, you know, incomprehensible. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.